It all started in a sleek, glass-walled corner office where Henry Carter, the CEO of Carter Enterprises, sat with an air of authority. A man in his early 50s, with neatly combed silver hair and piercing eyes, Henry prided himself on decisiveness and maintaining strict discipline within his company. But today, frustration clouded his mood. "What's the point of having rules if people can't follow them?" he muttered angrily, glaring at the reports on his desk. His assistant, a composed young woman named Emily, cautiously stepped into his office. "Sir, there's been a complaint about the janitorial staff," Emily said softly, bracing herself for his reaction. "Complaint?" Henry snapped, his sharp eyes narrowing. "What now?" One of the janitors was seen taking an extended break in the staff lounge. "Some executives weren't happy about it," Emily explained, her voice barely audible. Henry's face darkened. "What's his name?" he demanded. "Michael Davis," Emily replied. "He's been with us for a few months." "Bring him to me now," Henry barked. Michael Davis, a tall, broad-shouldered man in his late 40s, carried a quiet demeanor and an unshakable work ethic. He had taken the janitorial job to stay grounded after years in high-pressure corporate roles. Michael believed in humility and hard work, but also knew when to stand firm. When Emily approached him in the janitor's closet, Michael calmly wiped his hands on his uniform and followed her to Henry's office, sensing trouble but remaining composed. Henry didn't look up as Michael entered. He gestured curtly toward a chair. "Sit," Henry ordered. Michael sat, his face calm and neutral. "You wanted to see me, sir?" he asked. Henry finally looked up, his gaze icy. "Do you know why you're here?" "I assume it's about my break earlier," Michael replied evenly. Henry leaned forward, his voice sharp. "This company doesn't tolerate laziness. If you can't follow the rules, you don't belong here." Michael raised an eyebrow. "With all due respect, I've never missed a shift and always completed my tasks on time." Henry's patience snapped. "I don't have time for excuses. You're fired. Pack your things and leave." Michael's jaw tightened, but he stood up silently and left. A few employees glanced his way as he walked out, their faces reflecting a mix of sympathy and discomfort. The tension in the air was palpable. That evening, Henry attended a high-profile charity gala hosted by the company's top shareholders. The grand event featured elegant chandeliers, flowing champagne, and Chicago's elite. Confident as always, Henry mingled, unaware that his actions from earlier would soon haunt him. As the night progressed, a hush fell over the room as the host took the stage to introduce a special guest. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of our most influential shareholders, Mr. Michael Davis." Henry froze, his glass of whiskey suspended midair. The same man he had fired that morning now stood on the stage, exuding poise in a tailored suit. Addressing the audience with confidence, Michael spoke passionately about social equity and corporate responsibility. The crowd applauded enthusiastically, captivated by his words. Henry's mind raced. How could this be the same man he had dismissed as a janitor? Desperate for answers, he approached Michael after the speech. "Mr. Davis," Henry began, his voice strained. "A word, please." Michael turned, his expression unreadable. "Of course, Mr. Carter. What can I do for you?" Henry struggled to maintain composure. "I didn't realize you were a shareholder." Michael's lips curved into a faint smile. "And I didn't realize you judged people by their job titles." The tension was thick. Henry stammered, "Why were you working as a janitor?" Michael's gaze hardened. "Because I wanted to see how this company treats its employees. And today, I got my answer." Henry opened his mouth to respond, but Michael raised a hand to stop him. "Save it. I'm not here to humiliate you, Mr. Carter. I'm here to make changes. Starting tomorrow, we'll have a very different conversation." The next day, Michael arrived at the office, not in a janitor's uniform but in a sharp suit. His presence sent shockwaves through the building, sparking whispers and speculation. Henry called an emergency board meeting, where Michael took the seat at the head of the table. "Ladies and gentlemen," Michael began, his voice steady, "I've spent the last few months observing this company from the ground up, and what I've seen is unacceptable." He detailed the mistreatment of lower-level employees, the lack of diversity in leadership, and the toxic culture that plagued the organization. The board listened intently, their faces a mix of guilt and concern. Henry tried to interject, but Michael silenced him with a sharp look. "You had your chance to lead, Henry. Now it's my turn." Under Michael's leadership, Carter Enterprises underwent a dramatic transformation. Employee policies were revamped, diversity initiatives were implemented, and the company's culture shifted toward inclusion and respect. Henry, humbled by the experience, stepped down as CEO but remained on the board. He worked closely with Michael, learning from his mistakes and striving to become a better leader. Over time, the company thrived, earning accolades for its progressive practices. Michael never forgot the day he was fired, but he chose to focus on building a legacy of fairness and equality. This story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of treating every individual with dignity, regardless of their role. It highlights the value of humility and the transformative power of perseverance. Lesson from the story. The story teaches us that judging others based on their position or job is a big mistake. Whether a director or a cleaning staff, each individual has their own value and contribution. Respect and fair treatment are not only the foundation for a successful organization, but also help build strong relationships, creating a healthy working environment. The message from this story is, never look down on anyone. Appreciate each person and remember that position does not define their worth. Humility, perseverance, and true leadership qualities come not only from titles, but also from how we treat others. This story is truly a meaningful lesson about leadership and responsibility. I believe that to become a good leader, the most important thing is to understand and respect those around you. Michael Davis is not only a changemaker, but also an inspirational model for how to face challenges and lead with action. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Story Precious, for more thought-provoking and motivational stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss our latest content.